If you spend any time on the foul-smelling hellscape that is social media, you've probably come across sniping and griping and whining about Nepo babies in the entertainment industry. You know, people who are in the entertainment industry who also had parents in the entertainment industry. And it's a real thing. Yeah, there are plenty of Nepo babies in the biz. But is that really a big deal? I mean, aren't Nepo babies in every industry? 2023, for whatever reason, became the year of the Nepo baby. I don't know why, but it just did. Maybe it was because Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress for Everything Everywhere All at Once from 2022. Maybe that was the reason. I don't know. Whatever the reason, people started talking a lot about Nepo babies in the entertainment industry and getting themselves all in a huff over it. Nepo babies. How dare they take those jobs just because their parents had them? Well, yeah. I mean, see, here's the thing. Nepo babies as a term really implies nepotism. Nepotism being your parent or a relative or someone in your family kind of helping you out by getting you a job that you don't really deserve. At least that's what the term implies. I'm not saying that's exactly what it means. I'm saying that when people hear the term nepotism, they think someone undeserving of the position they have, who only got it because of mom and dad. And that's not quite accurate. Because Nepo babies, while they abound in the entertainment industry, also abound in practically every industry and profession in the world. 100+ years ago, it was much, much, much more. Estimates of people going into the same line of work as their parents pre-20th century are upwards of 80%. Now, it's dropped a lot since then, and now, generally, hovers around 30 to 40% worldwide. But that is still a huge number of people going into the same profession as their parents. And remember, you've got two parents, so you got two possibilities there. You don't have to go into the same profession as both parents, just one of them. So, I mean, yeah, 30 to 40% actually sounds pretty good. There are a lot of people who are in the fishing industry who went into it because their parents or parent were in the fishing industry. People who were farmers, families of doctors, families of lawyers. These are all things that have been around forever. So why does Hollywood get such a hard time for its Nepo babies? Well, I'll tell you. They're famous. They're famous. I mean, seriously, that's pretty much it. They're famous. People know who they are, and so they're like, hey, why does that person get to get millions of dollars in fame when I don't? Well, let's unpack that. First, we should state that Nepo babies in Hollywood, just like Nepo babies in all industry and professions around the world, is absolutely nothing new. If you go back to one of the absolute pioneers of silent cinema, Mary Pickford, you might be surprised to learn that she's a Nepo baby. Her mother was Charlotte Hennessy, who was a silent film actress and a stage actress, and personally knew Cecil B. DeMille's brother. So in 1909, after a successful early stage career, when Mary Pickford went to audition for Biograph Films, she got in the door thanks to her mother and all the people that she had already come to know in the entertainment industry. And that's about as far back as you can get. You're literally talking about someone whose film career started in 1909, practically starting at the birth of film, and yet she was a Nepo baby. Like, her mom was involved in film, like, from the moment Edison, like, put the frames together and the Lumiere brothers said, hey, I think we're onto something here. So that just shows how far back this goes. Basically, the beginning. And then there are, of course, the Barrymores that we all know about that go right down to this day. They've been around forever. That family has been involved in acting, in theater, and film for well over 100 years. So yes, Nepo babies go back quite a ways. And some of the more famous ones were indeed famous as Nepo babies because they literally had their parents' names, like Douglas Fairbanks Jr. Try and figure out who his dad was. or Lon Chaney Jr. But here's the thing about Nepo babies. And here's the reason I personally don't have a problem with Nepo babies in the entertainment industry at all. Because like any profession in the world, your parents or relatives or whoever might be able to get you in the door to the party, but you still gotta bring something to the party if you want to stick around. Being the son of Francis Ford Coppola's brother probably helped Nicolas Cage get in the door. He had a family that was well versed in the inner workings of the film industry, but he also brought a hell of a lot to the party. It was pretty evident from the start that Nicolas Cage brought an electromagnetism to the screen. That guy does not phone it in. Robert Downey Jr. had a father working as a director and writer and putting Robert Downey Jr. in his movies as a child. So yeah, he also had a pretty big foot in the door, and he brought a hell of a lot to the party. More recent ones like Zoe Kravitz, fantastic actress. If you doubt it, go watch Kimmy. Now, she may have had a lot of help from her family connections getting everything started. But when Steven Soderbergh needed to make a movie about a reclusive shut-in and he cast her, let me tell you, she nailed it. Which is basically how you can tell who the successful ones are. It has nothing to do with where they came from, it has everything to do with the talent. Now, I personally took slight offense, not a lot, I'm not really connected to her in any way, but I took slight offense in 2023 when people were complaining about Jamie Lee Curtis winning Best Supporting Actress for the 2022 film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, I personally don't think her performance in that movie necessarily warranted an Oscar, but I think she's a good enough actress to warrant an Oscar. And it's absolutely not because she's the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. It's because she's got talent. Because if she didn't have talent, Jamie Lee Curtis would not have had a successful career from 1978 to now. That's a long career. That's verging on 50 years. And you don't have a career that stretches 50 years because you're the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. You want to know when Nepo babies are really just plain old Nepo babies? Just go ahead and look them up. Look up a list of Nepo babies. And the ones that don't have a sparkling TV or a film career, those are the ones that showed up at the party with a 2-liter bottle of Diet Ginger Ale. Yeah, just like, go to the kitchen, we'll call you if we need you. But if you show up with something, you're good to go. Timothy Hutton, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Ordinary People, becoming the youngest person still to receive that award, was not coming from just off the streets in a random cattle call audition. His dad was Jim Hutton, who had a successful film and television career right up to the point Ordinary People was being made. He was in Ellery Queen. So, Timothy Hutton was a Nepo baby, but he clearly brought like a full basket of sausage and cheese and a couple of bottles of wine to the party. He didn't win the Oscar because people were like, hey, I really like his dad in that Twilight Zone episode where he plays the astronaut. No. He won the Oscar because he did a damn good job, although I still would have gone with Joe Pesci for Raging Bull. Nepo babies are here and they're here to stay, and it's just going to continue. 30 to 40% worldwide. That means Nepo babies are going to be in every profession you can probably think of for the foreseeable future. And that includes Hollywood, where they're more famous than the other Nepo babies who are working as plumbers or electricians or gardeners. They just are, because they're in movies. And most of them who are successful do a really good job at it. And others, well, you can look them up. That's all I got for now. Drive safely.